And we're going to be using the Proverbs 31 woman as a blueprint for that.
And I know some of you might be like, wait, what? But just stick with us. I promise it's going to be very interesting. We're going to find some really great takeaways, whether you're religious or not.
Yeah, I think you can take this stuff and apply it really to anyone.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here.
Yeah.
We're all about taking these old ideas,
Yeah.
these old sources, and finding out what's still relevant for us today.
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Where does her strength of character come from?
Right off the bat, when you look at the Proverbs 31 woman, what you see is that her strength of character comes from a deep-seated faith. And, you don't have to be religious to understand that. Basically, what she's got is this, like a rock, a bedrock.
It's like a foundation.
It's a foundation of belief. And those beliefs, they guide her actions. They shape the way she lives her life.
It's like a moral compass.
Yeah.
It's something to keep you oriented, keep you on the right path, especially when things get tough.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you see this emphasized over and over again throughout the whole passage of Proverbs 31, not just in like a passing way. Like, right, verse 1, it talks about a wife of noble character.
Right.
And then later in verse 30, it says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So it's not just about outward appearances. It's about what's going on inside. It's about a deep inner strength that she has because she's rooted in this belief system.
It's like she's not just going through the motions. She's living her life with intention and purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes her so strong.
Okay, so she's got this incredible foundation of faith. Yeah. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the way she supports her husband. Because I know some people, when they hear Proverbs 31 wife, they think, oh, it's all about like submissiveness and following orders. But it doesn't seem like that's the full picture here, does it?
No, not at all. It's not about blind obedience. It's about mutual respect. It's about encouraging each other, lifting each other up. In verse 11, you see it says her husband has full confidence in her. He trusts her judgment.
Yeah.
He knows she's capable.
Yeah.
They're partners.
They're a team.
Yeah.
And it's not just about marriage either, right? This idea of support that empowers, it applies to all kinds of relationships.
Oh, absolutely. It's about how we help the people we care about become the best versions of themselves.
So we've got this foundation of faith. We've got this incredibly supportive partner. Now, I want to talk about the work ethic because she's known for being incredibly hardworking, but it's not just about working hard, is it?
It's not just about like clocking in and clocking out. She puts her heart into it.
Yeah.
Like look at verse 17. It says, she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. That, to me, that just like screams enthusiasm.
It's like she's finding the joy in the work itself.
Yeah.
Not just focusing on like the end result.
Totally. Yeah.
This actually, it reminds me of a time when I had to do this massive project. It was like one of those things, I was dreading it. I was procrastinating like crazy. And then finally I just decided, you know what? I'm going to approach this differently. So instead of just dreading every single task, I tried to find something to be excited about.
Yeah.
Something I could be like, okay, this is cool. I'm going to learn from this, or I'm going to get better at this. And honestly, it totally changed my whole experience. Like I actually started to, dare I say, enjoy the work.
It's amazing how a shift in perspective can change everything, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think that's a huge takeaway from this whole idea of diligence. It's not about finding the perfect job or the perfect task. It's about bringing that positive energy to whatever you're doing.
Yeah. It's about finding the purpose, the meaning in your work. Yeah. And it's definitely something that can apply to all of us.
Exactly. Okay, so she's diligent. She works hard. But her hard work isn't confined to just her own home.
That's right, yeah.
She's also incredibly generous.
Yeah.
And it's not just about like giving money or possessions. It's about a genuine care for other people.
Yeah, and that really comes across in verse 20. It says, she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. It's a beautiful image of compassion. And I think, in today's world where it feels like everyone's so focused on themselves, that kind of generosity, it's a powerful reminder.
It's like a breath of fresh air, It's a reminder that we can make a difference, even in small ways.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the power of words. Because the Proverbs 31 woman, she's not just known for what she does, but also for how she speaks.
Yeah. She chooses her words carefully. She speaks with wisdom and kindness. Verse 26 says she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. And that's so important because, words can have such a huge impact.
They can. They can build people up or tear them down.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's
Yeah.
worth asking ourselves, if someone were to record everything we said for a day, would they hear wisdom and kindness?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because our words, they leave a mark.
And I think a lot of us could probably benefit from being a little bit more mindful about the things we say.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so last but not least, I want to talk about the environment she creates in her home, because I think that's a huge part of this whole noble character thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can have all the best intentions in the world, but if your home life is chaotic, it's going to be tough to maintain that sense of inner peace.
Yeah.
But, the Proverbs 31 woman, she gets that. She prioritizes creating a peaceful home environment. And it's not about avoiding conflict altogether.
Right.
Because, let's be real, disagreements are going to happen.
They're part of life.
But it's about how you handle those disagreements. It's about creating an atmosphere of love and respect.
Yeah, like where everyone feels safe and heard.
Exactly, yeah.
It makes me think about what kind of energy do we want to bring into our homes?
Yeah.
What kind of space do we want to create for ourselves and for the people we care about?
And I think that's something we can all work on. Like, it's an ongoing process.
For sure. So just to wrap things up, it seems like this whole idea of noble character, it's not about being perfect. It's about making conscious choices day in and day out.
Right.
To live with integrity, to be kind, to work hard, to support the people we love. And it's a journey, but I think it's a journey worth taking.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And what I find so amazing is that this woman, this Proverbs 31 woman, her story is still being told thousands of years later.
Yeah.
That's the power of living a life that matters.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, what kind of legacy do we want to leave behind?
That's a great question for everyone to think about. All right, everyone. Well, that's another deep dive in the books. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
See you later.